There are a number of problems with the commercial porn that is found on the most common sites like Pornhub or Xhamster and all those sites because number one, it's violent and aggressive and abusive and not the kind of sex that real women want. So seeing that desensitizes men, and men are the main watchers of porn, desensitizes men to what sex with the real woman is actually like. Number two, the women that are acting in the porn, many of them are underage and sex trafficked. And when they're making the porn that a director wants, they're having to do things they don't actually enjoy, and they're paid very little for it. So they're exploited, and I can tell that the women are not enjoying it. So men who are watching it are further desensitizing themselves from seeing women as real people, and they see women as objects, and they start numbing themselves and desensitizing themselves to being with the real person. Number three, the acts in there, like I said, they're things that women don't usually do, and it gives men a false idea. And number four, it's accessible to anyone, especially children. I was just reading today that it is common now for boys as young as 7, 10 at the latest, to be seeing this stuff, and it ruins them for life, really, by giving them these images that they're just not ready for. Now, I'm not opposed to watching other people have sex or anything like that. Like I said, I'm not a prude. So if you're going to watch porn, I highly recommend that you do not contribute to the objectification of women and exploited women, or to the exploitation of minors by frequenting the sites that give that stuff. There are some sites that have really erotic porn or romantic porn. That's the kind of porn that I think would be healthy to watch in moderation. I'm thinking about sex educator Tristan Taormino. I think she has a site called Pucker Up. Tristan Taormino. She's written a book on polyamory, and her instructional videos made with real couples are extremely erotic. There's one on anal, one on threesomes, one on how to do fellatio, how to do cunnilingus, different topics like that, and they're extremely erotic. And the couple sits down and talks about what they're going to do, then they do it, the film is super hot, and then afterwards they talk again. So it's real couples having real experiences that are actually erotic that they enjoy. There's a director I came across recently called Erica Lust, and I watched a couple of her videos. They were very erotic. One on how to do fellatio, one on how to do cunnilingus, again with real couples, and it was extremely erotic. And on the fellatio one, there was no deep throating or spitting or anything that you see in porn. Nothing violent like that. And on the cunnilingus one, it was really good. This guy was really, he was with his wife, I believe, and it was really good. Um, and then, of course, there's some ladies who have an OnlyFans or just for fans, and I think those are good because it's behind a paywall. So again, with all these paid sites, minors cannot access it, and you're paying the content creators as they should be paid. Also, when women have their own OnlyFans or just for fans or ManyVids or wherever they are making the content that they enjoy, that they want. And they're not doing violent stuff. They're not being trafficked. They are consenting adults making the stuff that they enjoy. And a lot of it is just very sensual. It's not exploiting. The other problem with porn is that men who rely on porn lose their ability to get turned on with the real woman, because sex is about sensuality, connection, erotic intimacy, exposing oneself to another person vulnerably. And when you're just watching women being rammed like objects, it starts to desensitize men. It makes them unable to get turned on with the real woman, connect with the real woman, because they're passive bystanders to an entertainment, just using their own hand. They don't the part of them that interacts with the woman gets numbed down or shut down or turned off. It's really a problem. Um, I really think that porn, just like cigarettes and alcohol, should only be accessible to adults. And like weed, you go to the dispensary, at least I do. Alcohol, there's certain things that are not bad, but that we should protect our children from seeing. And porn is one of those things. And also, I just want people to be aware that if you watch that kind of violent porn, it's going to have an impact on your psychology and your ability to be a lover in the negative way. If you're going to watch porn, again, I would suggest watching real couples. Google romantic porn. Make sure it's really sensual. And also make sure that porn is not the only sex you have, that it's used to add to your sex life, not to numb your sex life. If you care about being a good lover, and of course my channel is dedicated to us all being good lovers, and that means being embodied and being present. There's nothing embodied about being entertained, on a screen. Like right now you guys are watching my video, and it's interesting, but there's nothing embodied about it. Embodied is when I'm in my body, like I'm exercising, or I'm moving, or I'm walking, or I'm, when I'm watching something, I'm pretty much just in a trance watching, not like really a trance. Like I know I'm sitting here right now making this video, but I'm not feeling my body right now at all. And if you're watching porn and you're stroking your penis, that's not embodied. That's just genital focused. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm talking about being sensually embodied, like feeling somebody's lips on yours, somebody looking at you, having to say what you like or don't like, noticing what someone else likes and doesn't like interacting with the real human being. That's why those sex dolls, I think, are just going to be for the people who've kind of already checked out, because people who are embodied and erotic and sensual, they will never be satisfied with a sex doll. Sorry. Like me, I like fucking, but I will not use a dildo. I've tried using dildos. They just don't feel as good. They're cold. They're hard, but not in the soft hardness way. And I would rather do no fucking at all than have a dildo. And I don't use vibrators either. They desensitize. I'm not into BDSM. I don't want to have pain in my sex. I think a lot of people are really messed up and disconnected. I could just be a prude. Maybe I'm just a prude. I don't get it. But I've tried some of these things. And I think that when people are unable to find pleasure in just a simple interaction with another human being, it's time to get curious and be like, why? It's kind of like the guys who need to always do the rock climbing or the cliff jumping. They always need to do something really exciting because they're unable to feel any pleasure unless they're afraid or have some anxiety with it, they need that constant overstimulation. People like that, I don't really want to be around, because I like things calm. I can get turned on with things being calm. And I have my own issues. I'm not saying I'm perfect. But anyway, that's just my view on porn, that if you watch it, that you're mindful about the effect it has. It's like the people that are constantly on Facebook and Instagram. We know that's bad for their mental health too. It's not in dispute at all. Also, when guys watch a lot of porn, they often have erectile dysfunction when they're with a real woman. If you want to get good at sex, get into a relationship with another person that enjoys sex and that is able to be intimate, and that's really the best way to grow sexually and to have really good sex. And when you come across people who want you to be really rough or dissensual, don't think that they're cool and you're not. It's to be realize that, they're disconnected. and invite them to a connection or a sensory experience, and otherwise just move on. You know, I just, I want to be with people who care how I feel, and I don't find anything erotic about the roughness that's portrayed in the porn. I think I watch that stuff and I'm like, that looks painful. That does not turn me on. And any guy who finds that a turn on, I think he has mental health issues. I would not want to be in a relationship with a guy who's turned on by regularly watching women have two penises in her ass like that. Most guys can't even take a finger in their ass, even when I've warmed them up. They would never be able to take a dildo in their ass, let alone two. But you want a woman to do that? Like, you're sick. Guys who watch that are sick. I get the idea of a man desiring a woman who's always wet, always ready, always wants it. You know, that's a fantasy. Just like women have a James Bond fantasy. But I think likewise, women can get carried away with Cinderella and James Bond and think that a relationship is a man who will do whatever they want and be Prince Charming and always know what to say. And I think those kind of images are really harmful because it gives people false expectations and makes them see other people as some kind of object. But you know, maybe I'm just old and I don't get it. But I don't think so. So that's just my opinion. Also, when I don't pirate music, even when it was possible to pirate music and people were downloading music on their, wasn't called an I was it called an iPod? It was those little things that people had in the early 2000s or in the 90s that they put music on. But anyway, I always would pay for my music. I'm like, these people made it. I'm not going to steal their stuff. The problem with the stuff on the Pornhub is it's free. Like, how are these women getting paid for that?